As a cop with the New York City Police Department, day in and day out, Detective Matthew Klein nabs the bad guys.
That is the most rewarding thing, nailing that guy.
But unlike other police officers, he's not armed with a gun. His weapon is something very different.
I try to envision what the guy looks like.
It's a pencil and paper.
The reality is, if you get it wrong, either the bad guy gets away or the wrong guy gets cuffed.
I do everything in my power to get it right and the best I can.
The 11-year veteran on the force does the sketchiest of work. He's a forensic artist for the NYPD. As a kid, Matthew got the drawing bug from his dad, who worked as an animator for Walt Disney and Warner Brothers.
How did you learn to draw?
My dad drew for work. He supplied me with the paper and the pencils, and I just got into it, just loved doing it.
For Matthew, drawing was a passion, but not a career path. Then, after graduating from high school, 9/11 hit, and that changed everything.
You went to Iraq.
Yes, I did. It was right after, September 11th, and I just wanted to serve my country. And I signed up with the U.S. Army's 3rd Infantry Division.
In Iraq, Matthew worked as a squad marksman. He was awarded a Purple Heart.
How did you get the Purple Heart?
We were doing a mission, checking through a cemetery, looking for weapon caches, and next thing you know, the earth flies up, engulfed in a giant IED. I went flying in the air about 4 feet.
Matthew suffered a punctured eardrum and shrapnel to the face from the explosion. He was honorably discharged and went back home to New York City.
I came back here, became a police officer to help people, fight against crime and take care of people that can't help themselves and, do the right thing.
His first assignment with the NYPD was patrolling Queens. But even working the streets, Detective Klein never stopped drawing.
And how did you find out that the art unit needed somebody?
I didn't even know it existed until about 2011. I made a phone call and like, yeah, come in, bring your portfolio. So I came in, I met with the senior artist, Detective Juan Perez, and I took the drawing test, sweating like profusely. He's like, you did very good, definitely on the list. You just have to wait for me to retire, kid. And I was like, okay. So that was 2011.
3 years later, Detective Perez retired, and Klein stepped up to the pallet.
How many people are in this unit?
3.
3. Out of 38,000 sworn officers, there are 3 police sketch artists.
It's an honor to be in this unit. It definitely is.
But for forensic sketch artists, the biggest challenge is drawing a picture of a person you've never seen. An image that could be plastered on hundreds of wanted posters all over the city.
What is the key when you sit down with somebody to get them to give you an accurate description of the suspect?
You got the interview. You have to relax them. I don't talk about the crime. These are traumatic things, And also, the one thing I try to do is empower the victim.
With surveillance cameras trained on every street corner, virtually every waking moment of life is captured on video. But what happens when technology breaks down?
When all else fails, it's the one-on-one, human connection, I guess. When everything else is exhausted, there's, technology doesn't work and everything like that. You have something to fall back onto.
It's old school.
Yep.
Detective Klein produces hundreds of sketches a year, but the one that sticks out most is the case of the Brooklyn slasher.
What was your first, most critical sketch?
Early in March of 2016, there was an elderly woman walking, minding her business, and an emotionally disturbed person slashed her in the neck and took off running. Very fortunately, there was a witness down the street. He saw the guy and remembered him to the T.
That's where Detective Klein's artistic skills come in play.
It looks like you made that sketch from that picture, and it was the opposite.
I did the drawing, but the witness is the reason why that drawing looks like that. He was able to give me that information.
Cops caught the Brooklyn slasher and put him away. A triumph for the detective armed with only a pencil and paper.
What's the most rewarding part of your job?
When they catch the bad guy. Seen it on the news. It's a great feeling.
I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.